Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. Washington Examiner. No cash, no nothing. Hezbollah leader denies storing weapons at Beirut port at center of explosion. Well, let me say this, that I'm gonna press X to doubt. Why I say that? There is a possibility that he's actually telling the truth. There is. I forgot the word. There is no doubt that there is a possibility that he's actually telling the truth and they didn't store anything in there. But knowing Hezbollah, knowing that they are actually funded by Iran, and Iran actually controls partially Lebanon's entire political cadre, or at least half of Lebanon they control in there, politically, economically, and militarily, because Hezbollah is a military force. It's an invading terrorist force. And to top it all, Hezbollah has actually used human shields in the past, has actually stored weapons on civilian homes, hospitals, schools, mosques, and even more places that you shouldn't store weapons. They have done so in the past, and they are not known for being they are not known for being careful on their weapons either. So excuse me if I just say I kinda doubt your truth, your message, Nasrallah. I kind of doubt it. Anyway, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah categorically denied an involvement in the Beirut explosion in his first appearance since the blast. First appearance since the blast. That's another thing that kind of worries. If they didn't do it, or at least they were 100% sure that it wasn't them, they would have showed up on TV pretty much on the first day. Nasrallah, who has led the terrorist group since 1992, delivered a speech on Friday in which he addressed a massive explosion that has killed at least 157 people, injured more than 5,000, and rendered hundreds of thousands of Lebanese homeless. The blast is estimated to be 10% of the intensity of a nuclear bomb the United States dropped on Hiroshima during World War II. I would like to absolutely categorically rule out anything belonging to us at the port. No weapons, no missiles or bombs or rifles or even a bullet or ammonium nitrate, said Nasrallah, according to the Times of Israel. No cash, no nothing, not now, not ever. Well, excuse me if I doubt it, because, well, first you guys lie a lot. You people love war. You people control Lebanon. You are an invading force. Iran controls you and funds you. You are notoriously known to kill civilians. You're a terrorist group. And so it kind of makes it difficult to actually believe you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's a me problem having to try to get some truth out of you, but it's kind of, I feel, excuse me, I find it difficult to believe you. While the exact cause of the blast is still under investigation, it is believed that some 3,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored at the port of Beirut for the past 6 years are to blame for the explosion, although what sparked the initial fire is still unclear. An unspecified number of port officials have been placed under house arrest, pending an investigation by Lebanese authorities. Well, knowing that Lebanon is absolutely corrupt, and partly because of Iran and people like you, Nasrallah, partly because of you people, we might never see justice on that region, ever. And remember, when you guys import those people, remember, don't try to import their politics. I know you love illegals from the control left, but please, try to be decent and only allow people who actually love the country they are immigrating into. For instance, if they don't love America, or they start to show the flags of the nationalities, or they show they are not willing to integrate anything, out. But if they show they love America, and they actually love it, for instance, displaying flags and even standing for the anthem, let them in. While President Trump initially called the blast an attack and said he was advised by the military that it appeared to be work of a bomb, officials in Lebanon have cast doubt on that assertion. However, Lebanese President Michel Aoun said on Friday that authorities are investigating all angles of the tragedy and wouldn't rule out an attack of some sort. Yes, definitely you shouldn't rule out an attack, or that Mr. Nasrallah here stored some stuff that shouldn't have been stored in there. Once again, he might actually be telling the truth for once, for the first time in his life, but his track record says that he might not actually be telling the truth. The cause has not been determined yet. There's a possibility of external interference through a rocket or bomb or other act, said Aoun, noting that there are 3 levels to the investigation. First, how the explosive material entered and was stored. Second, whether the explosion was a result of negligence or an accident. And third, the possibility that there was external interference. While Hezbollah has both paramilitary and political wings, like I said in the beginning of this video, it is labeled a foreign terrorist organization in its totality by the US, the United Kingdom, and most recently Germany. Other countries have designated just its military wing as a terrorist organization. I think that's a mistake. You should completely and utterly classify them as a terrorist organization. The group is part of the country's ruling March 8 alliance. Nasrallah on Friday said that this group is more focused on Israeli ports than it is on Lebanese ports. There you go. One thing that they may actually show that this may actually be their fault. The Hezbollah leader has in the past threatened to attack oil and chemical refineries at Israel's ports of Haifa. See, they love war. We don't rule the port or administrate it, nor do we interfere in it, nor do we know what's going on there. Our responsibility is resistance against Israel, he said in the speech. We know more about Haifa port than about Beirut port. To doubt. Nasrallah also mocked Trump's allegation that the explosion was an attack and said that even the Americans have gone back on what they said with regard to this issue. The Washington Examiner has reached out to both the U.S. National Security Council and the State Department for comment. Assuming that there's no update in here, I think it's safe to say they didn't hear anything back from them. But once again, Nasrallah may actually be telling the truth, but the track record, his track record, and Hezbollah's track record says that it's kind of difficult to believe you. I'm sorry, you people actually have no idea how bad this group is. These people, the Hezbollah, are actually... They are not interested in peace, they are not interested in anything else, they just want to kill Israelis, or in this case, Jews, to the point that, even the Christian population in Lebanon allied with Israel to try and fight these people out. But, well, there you go. Let's hope we find out what actually happened in that explosion, and that the people responsible for this actually pay for it, but the track record in Lebanon, the corruption, and how, well, Mr. Hezbollah here does things, I find everything very difficult to believe. I'm sorry, it just is. It just is. There's nothing else for me to say in this, but say, we hope, I hope that justice is served one way or the other. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Good night.